What's up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wilde back with another video on Eagles news now from bar 4133. You know, I just got done with a pretty awesome cardio workout. I mean, I had the Rain energy drink flowing through my veins, sweating buckets, but apparently I wasn't sweating as much as Dan Snyder of the former Washington Redskins has been, because there is no owner, no team in the NFL, in sports in general, that has had a worse offseason than this guy and this team. And you know what? I could sit here and do a 2-hour video of all the horrible things that's happened with this team, with the sexual allegations, with having to finally change that horrible name, in my opinion, that is the Washington Redskins. But the one thing that they had to do, the one thing, his one job, was to come up with something positive for these guys going into this 2020 season that's going to be unlike any other to begin with, by coming up with a kick-ass, cool name to brand this Washington team with. And you know what? And I saw what they came up with today and what they announced today. I thought it was an absolute rib. I thought it was a joke. I can't believe it. I feel bad for my friends that are Washington fans. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this time right now. You guys don't even have to fill out an application. I've got some midnight green jerseys that you can wear. Come over to the other side. Philadelphia is close to where we all live. Once fans are allowed back in games, we can go. We'll have a blast. Come on, become an Eagle fan, because this is an absolute, I don't have words. There aren't words for how ridiculous this is. So, the team announced today that temporarily, at least for the 2020 season, the former Washington Redskins will now be known as, get ready, if you're driving, please pull over. This is going to knock you off your seat. They're going to be called the Washington Football Team. That's it. The Washington Football Team. That is what you give your fans that have had to put up with all of your negative bullshit for so many years, with a horrible offseason. That's what you do. The former Washington Redskins are now, you know what, the Washington Football Team hired Terry Bateman he's the chief marketing officer of the team in Washington. And this guy makes more money than most of us will probably ever see. His job is to create a brand, and this dude is telling everybody it's going to take at least 12 to 18 months. He's coming up with so many excuses. It's insane that you can't. I mean, there's so many names to pick from that are, any name would be better than this. And actually, the only people that are okay with this name are the players that are contracted on the team that are pretending to like this through Twitter and Instagram, because there's no way that they honestly like this, no matter how many times they Photoshop themselves in a burgundy and gold uniform with, instead of an actual logo on the helmet, they have a number. There's no way they like it. Other athletes have spoken out, entertainers. I mean, this is the joke of the sports world right now, and for good reason. I mean, the fact that you can't come up with a name, and I thought it was going to be the Washington Sentinels. I really did, because apparently a story came out that the Washington Redskin website, the domain was changed to Sentinels, and I thought, you know what, I don't like it. It's kind of stupid, but whatever. I mean, me personally, as a fan from Philadelphia, I hope you guys have the absolute horrible name that you could possibly get, because I would love to make fun of you, but this is just insane. Like I said, I feel sorry for my friends that are now the football, how do I even say this? The Washington Football Team fans. I mean, what is this? This is out of control. It's an NFC East news item, which is why I'm even speaking about it, because the Eagles will play the Washington Football Team week 1. I mean, it's just funny to even say. I like to, you know, being a professional wrestler and a lifelong wrestling fan, I like to equate things to wrestling a lot of times. So back in the 90s, which I'm going to have a video actually about some of the things I miss about the 90s. That's coming up. Stay tuned for that. But back in the 90s, when the WCW and the WWF were having this huge war, guys were jumping ship all the time, and they couldn't use the names. If they were in the WWF, they couldn't use that WWF name in WCW, because WWF owned the name. So WCW would have to rebrand that wrestler, and that's the name for the wrestler is huge, because that's how they make their money. Merchandise. It's the exact same thing with a football team. So imagine this: Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Kevin Nash, leaves the WWF in 1996 to go to WCW, and he eventually forms one of the most popular groups ever. You still see the shirts being worn, which is the NWO. So he goes over, and instead of them using Kevin Nash, let's say they rebrand him as that wrestler from Detroit, Michigan. I mean, that's how insane this is. That is how insane this name is. It's horrible. Look, I mean, 2020 sucks for everybody. It really sucks for Washington fans. I am so happy right now that my father, growing up, spent time in Philadelphia, grew up in Philadelphia, became an Eagles fan, and didn't come right to Delaware, which is close to D.C., and become a Redskin fan. I am thanking my lucky stars, and we've had our bad seasons. We've had our controversies. We've had the snowballs to Santa Claus. We've had to deal with it all. The no rings until 2017. We'd had to deal with it all, but I will take that any day over this crap that Dan Snyder has put out and this horrible the Washington football team. I mean, it's just it's insane. It's outrageous, and you know what? That Washington football team has no Super Bowl rings, and that's going to be my joke for them this year. That's all I got, guys. I'm done. I was done 2 minutes ago. I'm just done. But that's the name. The Eagles, Week 1, will face the Washington football team. The Washington football team. I've got nothing else, guys. Go Birds. I'll see you later. Unreal.